What's going on? What's going on? It's Lady Dre, and welcome to Healing Sessions. So, I wanted to come today and really just give you a better understanding of what Healing Sessions is, who I am, and really the driving force behind my passion for healing. I also want to take the time to really thank you. I appreciate you all for your support, your shares, your likes, your follows, your subscriptions. It is so important, and I really just want to let you know how much I appreciate you. It has been a challenging experience in the fact that just starting over, starting a platform over, and really just being not only consistent with it, but really, showcasing just like your gifts and your talents and things of that nature. And so I'm just very appreciative of you tuning in. I appreciate, again, your support, your likes, and your comments. It means a great deal to me, and I look forward to us continuing that journey together. And so I have a few questions that I'm going to answer pertaining to healing sessions, and really just, giving you a better insight on who I am, and why I continue to do this day in and day out. Okay, so the reason why I created healing sessions is because I wanted to really create a platform where there was a free space to be able to not only heal, and share those lessons, right? Those tools that we use to be able to be on that journey. But I also wanted to be able to create a safe space to allow people that look like me and that are around my age demographic to be able to be in a space to know that it's okay. It's okay to not only heal, but to better yourself, right? To want better for yourself, right? To want better for the people around you. And, and along this journey, you realize like it really starts with you. It starts with you. The healing journey starts with you. It starts with you being a better person for yourself in order for it to reflect out and for the people around you. And so I wanted to create that space. I wanted to be able to have a platform that allow people to understand that healing is very much so cool, right? Healing is a daily task. Healing allows you to not only better yourself, but it allows you to heal those areas in your life where you know that may have, that need attention. And sometimes we're not always in a space to be aware of that, right? Sometimes we're not always in a space to be able to understand the importance of being healed, right? And really and growing from it, right? And evolving from it. And so that's why I created healing sessions. I wanted to be able to allow people to not only collaborate, but again, share that wisdom, share that knowledge, that understanding of just the importance of really being in a space of knowing who you are, right? Loving yourself, respecting yourself, it being in acceptance of yourself, right? And so that was the driving force behind it, because ultimately I believe that, at times, especially growing up in my generation, I can't speak for other generations, but I was an 80s baby, right? So I was born in the 80s, and we're a different breed, we're a different generation, and so there's a lot of things that the younger generation, they know nothing about. And there's also the same with the older generation, my parents' generation. And so I felt it was like our duty to be able to really just kind of bring that balance, right? Bring that understanding of both generations, and understanding like we can all learn from each other, we can all grow from each other. However, like it's a difference when you actually experience it versus someone just telling you about it, right? And so for me, it was just very important for me to be able to create a platform where I showed my transparency, right? Where I'm able to talk about my healing and not be ashamed of it, right? Talk about my growth and not feel like it's it's me trying to be better than someone else. No, it's ultimately for me to be my best self, and I believe that when you are on this healing journey, you understand that more and more, and so it's just very important that there's a space where we are allowed to do that, and not be ashamed of it, not feel like because a lot of people are not doing it that, we have to be in hiding. And granted, and we'll get into this, in further sessions where you understand that there are going to be times where, you're not going to want to talk about your healing. You're not going to want to talk about just where you are, mentally, spiritually, right? Even physically, you may not want to talk about those things. And so granted, there's going to be times where you are going to isolate yourself. There are going to be times where you are going to be alone on the journey. However, there are going to be times where also you are going to wish that you had that support. You're going to wish that you had that understanding from other people to just understand where you are, to understand just what you're going through, and granted, everyone's journey is different. However, I truly believe that when you do get on this healing path, you understand that you're going to go through some things, and a lot of it has to do with unlearning. A lot of it has to do with you, again, working on yourself, doing the inside job, doing the inside work to be able to allow you to elevate and allow you to be able to grow and achieve your desires as far as healing goes, right? So those are some of the reasons as to why Healing Sessions was created, because ultimately I just want us to be able to have a space where we can be able to collaborate, we can share, we can understand, and really just give each other a high five, because there's so many times where you're going to want that and you may not get it. And so which leads into my second question is of why is it so important to believe in yourself? And so for me, it was very important for me to learn this lesson, because I believe a lot of times, especially in growing up, you may have certain situations or be involved in certain circumstances that allow you to not so much believe in yourself, but kind of doubt yourself too at the same time, right? And so a part of this healing journey, there's going to be several steps to it, but one of them is definitely you have to believe in just who you are, right? You have to believe in what you're trying to achieve, because a lot of times there's not going to be anyone understanding what you're trying to do. There's going to be a lot of times where people are going to be looking at you like, what are you doing? Like, and it's not even so much of, what you're doing. It's more so it's triggering for them, because it's like you think that you're better than somebody because you want to better yourself, and you'll be surprised how many people will question like your motives as to you wanting to better yourself, and so it's important for you to believe in who you are, believe in what you're trying to accomplish, believe that where you want to end up, you will, because a lot of times you won't have that cheerleader. A lot of times on that healing journey, you won't have that person that's going to support you along the journey the whole way. A lot of times you won't have someone to sit there and just be like, yes, just keep them going. However, there will be times though where you will have what you need when you need it. And again, that's where abundance come in, but I say this to say that it's very important for you to be able to understand like what you're trying to accomplish, and then just strive for that, no matter the obstacles, no matter the challenges, no matter the people that the naysayers. It's important for you to ultimately understand like where you want to end up, and in order for you to do that, you have to believe in yourself wholeheartedly. You have to believe in your path. You have to believe in your purpose, because again, a lot of people will not be on this journey with you, and a lot of people they're not going to be able to go with you. And it's a sad reality, but it's the truth, because a lot of people are not willing to do the work. And so if you have made it to this point where you're doing the work and you're putting forth the effort, like, hey, kudos to you, because again, like I say, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not, and everybody can't do that. Everybody's not willing to go deep. Everybody's not willing to work on that shadow. Everybody's not willing to be able to better themselves. And some people don't want to better, and look, some people don't want to better themselves, and it's no shade to you. It's no shade to, you want to be stagnant or be, just, it's no shade to you. However, again, but when you are on this journey, you're going to see those people, and unfortunately they're just not able to come along, and so again, it's very important that you understand what you're trying to do, not even trying to do, but what you're setting out to do. And then also to just remember to, believe in yourself even when no one else does, because it's going to, there are going to be times where you're going to need every bit of that, every bit of your cheerleading skills, your belief in yourself to be able to get to the next level. Okay. So, another question I have is, so name, a gift that you are grateful for. So I want to talk about this because a part of this, also the healing journey, is being aware, right? Being aware of who you are, being aware of just your gifts, your talents, right? Again, going along with believing in yourself, you know what you can do, right? And sometimes you don't know what you can do, However, though, if you are putting forth the effort to just make a change, make a difference, not only in yourself, but in the life of in the lives of other people, it's very important that you understand your gifts, understand the importance of your gifts, right? And so for me, one of my gifts that it took me a long time to really embrace was having deep feelings, right? And so from a early age, I've always been intuitive. I didn't know that I was intuitive at an early age, but I always could just feel the energy of people and what they felt, right? And I didn't know that I was an empath, right? I didn't know that I didn't understand it. I didn't have anyone there to cultivate that, to be like, oh, hey, maybe, maybe it's this or how you're feeling, It literally was trial and error. And so from an early age, I was an empath. I could feel people's energy. I could read a room. I could understand I could feel who was feeling sad, who was happy. I could feel when people didn't like me. I could feel when people didn't like themselves. I felt all these things. But the thing with me was, when I was coming up, I didn't know that it was other people's feelings. So I was just feeling all this information. I was feeling all these feelings, feeling all this depth. And it's like, well, why am I feeling that way, right? Why can I feel like I can read somebody's mind? And that's not necessarily read their mind, but again, and we'll talk again about this in other sessions of even just, trauma responses, right? And so, for myself, I observed a lot. I was a very reserved child, and I just observed. I observed a lot. And so ultimately it helped me, now as an adult, it helped me to understand just a part of my gift. But when I was a child, I didn't understand it. And so I really had to work through, understanding my feelings versus somebody else's feelings, right? And not also being in a space to absorb all their feelings and emotions, right? And negative and positive, right? And so, I can remember even times, even not even as a child, but even like, as a teenager, or like when I was, dating a guy or something, and they'll be like, oh, you're just so sensitive. Like, and literally like would make me feel bad because I was sensitive, made me feel bad because I felt things deeper than the average person, And so, it was interesting because I had to really like not be ashamed of that, right? I had to really be in a space of accepting like just the deep emotions that I have, right? Because ultimately I understood that with those deep emotions and me being able to feel all kinds of different emotions, it allowed me to be able to help other people. It allowed me to be able to be in a space to recognize what other people needed, but also what I needed for myself, And so I have to say, like, my deep emotions is definitely one of my gifts that I am grateful for, that I appreciate, because ultimately it taught me so much about myself, right? It taught me so much about just, who I am and how special that is, because there are so many people out in this world that are not even able to not even articulate how they feel, but let alone feel how they feel. You know what I'm saying? And so I used to always think that something was wrong with me. I used to think that, like, oh, okay, like, well, why do I have to feel that way? Why do I have to feel like, why do I have to feel the weight of 10,000 men? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would ask God that, like, I'm tired of feeling. I'm tired of being emotional. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of being, feeling like, I'm absorbing all this energy, and people are just looking at me like, what's wrong with you? But ultimately now it's interesting, because I can look at people now and I'm like, how can you not feel? How can you not, like, how it's a human emotion to feel, and I'm not saying, like, that you let it control you. No, because I had to master that. I had to master my feelings. I had to master my emotions. I had to master understanding, like, when it's mine versus someone else's, and that took time. It took a lot of time. And so, I'm grateful for it, though. I'm grateful for it because it made me who I am. It allowed me to be able to, again, recognize within myself when I needed grace, recognize in myself when I needed, healing, understanding, peace. Like, it helped me to do that, and it allows me to be able to do that with other people. And so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. And it's funny, because I didn't think there would ever be a time where I would say that I'm grateful for, deep feeling, deep feelings, but, I'm grateful for it. And so it has allowed me to, again, just, be of service to, a great deal of people. And I'm grateful for that. And, I wouldn't change anything about it. Of course, during, in learning, you're like, oh no, I don't want that. I want to be like everybody else. I don't want to feel. I don't want to care. You know what I'm saying? But now, in where we're going to now, like, it's imperative that you are, trusting your gifts, honoring your gifts, being appreciative of your gifts, because trust and believe that there is going to be a time where it's going to be in full force, where you need to be able to utilize those gifts. And that time is now, really. That time is now. And so I say, don't be afraid of who you are. Don't be afraid of what people are going to say. Don't be afraid of allowing people to project on you and say that you can't do something, or that you won't do something. Like, that's not your journey, And so just be in a space of gratitude for the lessons. Be in the space of gratitude for just being, right? And so, and then, I have a last question that I wanted to answer, and it's interesting because, there are so many misconceptions about healing, right? And, and for some reason, I don't know why people think, like, because you healing, that means, like, that means that you gonna let people just run over you, or you gonna let people just say whatever they want to you, or you're not gonna speak up for yourself, or you're not going to be triggered, or you're not going to show your shadow. Like, no. So let's understand this. Just because I'm healing does not mean that I don't get triggered, okay? It does not mean that I don't have my moments where I have to work on my shadow side. It does not mean that I'm going to just allow you to, walk over me or run over me because of the simple fact, because you think that, I'm being spiritual, and that, I'm just going to be this, little saint that is not going to ruffle no feathers. Okay, so listen. If you already don't know, I'm a catalyst. Like, listen, I will come into your life, and I will have you thinking about other perspectives, other things that allow you to really transform just the way you view certain things. And at the same time, I've had people do that for me, And so, I don't ever want anyone to think because I'm promoting healing, that I'm just this, this person that doesn't, get upset, or that doesn't get sad, or that doesn't, feel, again, where people would think as negative emotions. Like, no, I still have those moments where I'm learning, I'm growing, there's growing pains. And that's with every level that you raise to. Like, there's going to be different things that's going to trigger you. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be different things that's going to be revealed to you. You know what I mean? Because again, healing doesn't just happen in one day. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process. It's a daily process. It's a thing that you have to really work at day in and day out. It's nothing that you can just say, okay, I'm going to do it today and then I'll do it again next month. Like, no, if you're serious about healing, like, it's a daily thing. And there's going to be some days where you're going to learn a great deal about yourself. And then there's going to be some days where you're like, I don't know anything about myself. You know what I'm saying? But the beauty in that, though, is that you're aware. You're aware that, you may still have to heal some areas. You're aware that you still may have to, go a little bit deeper. You may have to go, like, again, to the root of the issue or the problem. And sometimes it takes several times. It takes sometimes years. It takes sometimes decades in order to be able to heal certain aspects of our life that we have been traumatized by, right? And so it's important for you to understand, like, do not be misled by the fact that when somebody says that they're healing, that means that they're, even, in a space of being vulnerable and allowing you to be able to just step over them. Like, no, because really, ultimately, and even in healing, like, you're going to see a lot of people stand up for themselves. They're going to speak up for themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're going to let you know, like, how they feel, how it is. You know what I'm saying? Speak their truth. And that's the beauty in healing, is that you're going to unlearn a lot of things that you've been taught by society, by your family, by your friends. A lot of things you're going to have to be able to really just unlearn, because ultimately, if you want to be able to have solid belief systems in yourself and who you are, like, you're sometimes going to have to start from scratch. And that means that you are going to have to do away with what your parents instilled in you. Not saying that your parents are going to always instill bad things in you. Not saying that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are on the side of where you have, parents that cultivate and nurture who you are, like, you're winning. But there are a lot of people out here that are on that side of where they had to do it by themselves, i.e., I'm one of those people. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn a lot of things on my own. I had to learn and grow. It was trial and error for me to be able to understand who I am, to understand, like, when I had abandonment issues, understand when I had, issues of lack or self-worth. Like, those are issues that you don't even realize that you are carrying with you until you start healing. And so for me, it was just definitely eye-opening, and that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I've seen how much my life has transpired and transformed since me really understanding, like, myself on my own journey and being an adult, and not blaming my parents for not doing XYZ, not blaming my ex-husband, not blaming friends, family, whatever. Like, it literally was a matter of me, like, saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And moving forward, so it's no blame on nobody else. It's literally now just a matter of you learning, and growing how you want to grow, right? And showing up how you want to be able to show up in this world, And so, I just encourage you to, don't allow, people to hinder you on that journey. And granted, sometimes people will hinder you on that journey, and then that means there's something more that you need to be able to learn and heal from. So, and that's okay, because again, like I said, it's a daily activity. It's something that you're going to have to constantly do day in and day out, but the rewards are great. The rewards are so beautiful when you do be able to get to that point where you're just like, wow, like, that doesn't bother me no more, or that doesn't affect me the way it used to, So it's such a beautiful thing. However, it does take work. It takes work, and it takes time, and it takes dedication. and commitment to yourself, commitment to the journey, but also to just commitment to understanding that God got you, and understanding that, yes, every day is not going to be sunshine. Every day is not going to be, a bed of roses, sunflowers, tulips. Like, it's not going to be that. But there are going to be some days where it is, and it's going to be beautiful. But you just have to know that even on those days where it's not, a bed of roses, understanding that God still got me. You know what I mean? And it's difficult, especially in those trying times and those challenging times, because you will question a lot of things. You will question, should you go back to your old self? There's been many times where I was like, okay, wait, why am I doing this? Like, I'm not seeing the results, but, I miss doing that. So why am I doing this again? And so you have to know the reasons why you're doing it. You have to know and understand why you are doing what you're doing, and your intent. It's important for you to know your intent is why you want to heal, because at the end of the day, you cannot fake healing. You cannot fake being a better person, because ultimately it's going to come out. You know what I mean? So I just say, like, don't allow the misconceptions of healing get you to a space where you're like, I don't want to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not all bad and it's not all good. However, though, it's worth it. It's worth it, and the rewards are very beautiful. But yeah, you're gonna have to do the work, and so if that's something that you don't want to do, then yeah, the healing journey may not be for you, but that's okay too, but I just encourage you to encourage you to live your most authentic life, and at times it's going to be difficult, because especially with society, because society will have you wearing all these different kind of masks, have you feeling like, you have to show up this way for one thing, show up this way for another thing, and you can't just be who you are. You know what I mean? And so it's just important for you to be your authentic self, because ultimately in that you are able to not only shine, but you allow other people to be able to see that light, and then give them the permission to be able to, for them to shine their light, And so it's just important for you to be you. And flaws and all, be you, because of the beauty in that is that you're showing up as God, how God wants you to, and so I just encourage you to embrace the journey, right? Embrace the path, embrace the purpose, because you're able to not only help so many other people, but you're here to help yourself first and foremost. Before anything, you're here to help yourself. You're here to help yourself grow, to learn, to evolve, and it's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time to be doing that. And if you have already started that journey, like, I'm telling you way ahead of the game. You way ahead of the game, because there's so many people, I'm telling you, that have not even started and won't start. And that's okay. That's okay. It's not their time. But you continue to do the work. You continue to be great. You continue to just be the light that you're supposed to be. So I hope this gave you some clarity and understanding as to what Heal.N Sessions is, and who I am, and really just the driving force behind Heal.N Sessions, and really ultimately just cultivating a space of collaboration, to nurture, to grow, to understand, to facilitate that knowledge, to facilitate the tools that have been used to be able to help us along the journey, and so I appreciate you. I want you to know that I really appreciate you. I appreciate you being part of my journey. I appreciate you understanding that's what we're trying to do, because we want to bring awareness to it. We want to make sure that people understand, like, the importance of healing, the importance of having, just a mindfulness of being healthy, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, being healthy, and everybody's not willing to do that. And so I give you props. I give you props because, it can be a difficult journey at times. It can be challenging, but it's so worth it. And I don't want to keep on sound like a broken record, but it's so important. It's so important. And so I just hope that you have better understanding, and make sure that, you know, again, if you have like-minded people around you that are on that journey, make sure that, you know, you check on them. Make sure that you know, have those moments of deepness, have those moments of vulnerability, right? Because there will be times like on the journey where you will find yourself alone, or not so much alone, but just in the way of you're trying to cultivate your new path. Everybody's not going to be on that path, you know, and everybody's not going to want to be on that path. And so sometimes you may find yourself just feeling like, am I the only one doing this? Because I know there's been so many times where I felt like that, you know what I'm saying? So it makes me feel good when I connect with people that are on the healing journey, that understand just the ins and outs, the ebbs and flows of healing. Because, you know, as beautiful I say as it can be challenging. It sometimes can be daunting, you know, because it's like, oh, I have to do that again. You know, I have to do that again. Like, I just did that, you know? And so, you know, sometimes, yeah, it can be overwhelming, you know, but again, it's a beautiful thing. And I just hope that, you know, you meet like-minded people along the journey to be able to at least encourage you, and when you feel like you can't encourage yourself. But ultimately it goes again back to believing in yourself, believing that you are equipped with the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, the peace, the love, the mindfulness, right, the faith, to be able to, you know, not only reach your destination, but really, like, you know, inspire people along the way, right? So I just thank you for taking the time to, you know, sit with me and just have a better understanding of what Healing Sessions is. And I look forward to you viewing more videos. And again, just thank you for your support. Thank you for just for being you. So again, do not forget to like, share, subscribe, you know, follow, whatever. Just make sure that, you know, we're supporting one another. And yeah, I look forward to really just connecting with you all, and being in a space to not only share my gifts and talents, but you also share your gifts and talents with me. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and y'all be easy. All right, bye.